an NFL draft special, rowing to victory, and is the baseball team finally catching fire? All is next on College Press Box. Hi, welcome to College Press Box. I'm Steve Helwick alongside our baseball analyst Luke Henry. As the year comes to a close, things are heating up at the dish. After sweeping New Orleans and Austin, Texas now rides a 5-game winning streak dating back to April 15th win over the Baylor Bears. Longhorns are now 28-15, but they still have a losing Big 12 record. So Luke, Patrick Mathis this year, he just has returned from an injury. How has his impact been since his return from an injury? He batted all 4 RBIs on Sunday's 4-3 win over New Orleans.
Steve, you mentioned the injury. In March, he injured his calf against Texas A&M. Mathis returned to the lineup April 11th, and as you said, he's been phenomenal since then. He's had 6 RBIs in April. His batting average .239 this season, and as you said, 4 RBIs coming Sunday in that win over New Orleans. Mathis has always been key at the plate for Texas, and in a Coach David Pierce scheme, the offensive presence has to be strong. Mathis is key for that offensive strategy for the Longhorns this season.
It sounds like that improvement they need down the stretch. And this weekend, they're going to go to the road environment in Stillwater to face Oklahoma State. Now, Texas is 4-8 on the road this year. They have that midweek in Sugar Land against Louisiana and Lafayette. But what do they need to do in Stillwater to finally win their first sought-after road series of the year?
Steve, Texas is catching Oklahoma State at a time when their confidence is unparalleled to the Pokes' current record. OSU just defeated Texas Tech in a series over the weekend in Lubbock. So Texas, as I mentioned, has to continue that strong offensive presence. When you look at the batting average at the dish compared to away, .225 here in Austin and .203 away. And as always, Steve, pitching is key in a 3-game series, especially in conference play. The bullpen of Bo Ridgeway, Nick Kennedy, and Chase Sugar are going to have to back up Noel Kingham, Morgan Cooper, and Kyle Johnston all series long throughout the weekend in Stillwater.
So it's the final stretch of the year. It's a great benchmark point. So Texas baseball had a losing record last year, but in David Pierce's first season, how would you evaluate it? Is this a disappointment, or do you expect them to do more, or is this just where you think Texas baseball should be right now?
Steve, I think that Coach David Pierce has done a great job with the Texas program. As you mentioned, a losing record last season. The team finished 28-32 and 10-14 in conference. In 2015, the Longhorns merely finished above 500. So sitting at 28-15 this season, 7-8 in conference. TCU, Texas Tech, West Virginia have the edge over Texas in the conference right now. But when you look at the overall improvement, it is a much better team, especially on the mound. The ERA of last year's program, 4.08. This year, the team, 2.85 ERA. Pierce has not been afraid to pull the guys off the mound when they're struggling. And that's something that Augie, Garrido, and Skip didn't do so much last year, is give the pitchers relief when it's needed, and that's consequently not allowing as many runs, leading to some more wins. If they can finish out the season strong, I think you're looking at a strong program. Not one that's going to compete for a College World Series this year, but David Pierce certainly has Texas heading in the right direction.
You mentioned 28 wins last year, already at 28 wins this year with plenty left to play. That's quite the improvement. Thank you for all of your insight, Luke. That was very good analysis. And after the break, we'll review how the rest of Texas sports other than baseball fared this weekend. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to College Press Box. I'm Steve Helwick, joined alongside Bailey Abramowitz to talk about Texas sports. The Big 12 championship for golf commenced this morning in Austin. Texas entered the tournament at 14th in the nation and 4th in the Big 12. They currently rank 6th on the conference's scorecard. The Longhorns' plus 33 mark sits several strokes behind 5th place Texas Tech's plus 29, but Oklahoma State currently leads the pack, hitting at a plus 22. But there are still 2 more days of action to be played.
At the Big 12 championship in San Antonio, the Texas women's golf team competed in hopes to win their 4th title. After round 1, the Longhorns were tied for 4th place with 9 over for 297, with Sophia Schubert and freshman Emily Hoffman finishing in the top 10. After the second round, Texas is in first place at 294 with 15 over par. They were led by Schubert, who finished at the top with 72, sitting 1 under par. When the final round came to a close on Sunday, the Longhorns won their first Big 12 championship since 2011. Hoffman ended in second place at 217, 1 over par, with Schubert close behind in 5th place at 220, 4 over par.
Let's move to the tennis courts. While a new tennis facility is under construction in Austin, the Longhorns fell to the TCU Horned Frogs 4-1 on Saturday in Fort Worth. Second-ranked Christian Norrie guided the Frogs to victory in singles play, defeating Texas's Christian Sigsgaard to take a 3-0 pivotal lead in that set. Texas briefly recovered to win a match, but TCU's Alex Rybakov defeated Texas's Harrison Scott in the tiebreaker to clinch the victory. Texas takes the courts once again on Thursday in Norman, Oklahoma for the Big 12 championships.
Last Friday, Texas women's tennis defeated Kansas 4-1 in Austin. The Jayhawks started strong, winning 2 out of 3 of the doubles matches. Freshman Petra Granich won her matches 6-1 and 6-2 and helped the Longhorns take home the lead. Texas also hosted Kansas State this past Sunday with a shutout to wrap up their regular season. Anna Tarati, Danny Wagland, and Grandich each won their singles and doubles matches to take home the title 4-0. The Longhorns play at the Big 12 championships this Friday against TCU.
This week in California, we rewrote some of the record books. Sophomore Megan Lloyd shattered the Texas record in the steeplechase at the Cardinal Classic in Stanford on Saturday night. She broke the best mark by a Longhorn by over 6 seconds set by Brittany Marches at the Cardinal Classic 3 years ago in 2014. Lloyd finished the race in 10 minutes and 20 seconds, vaulting into first place out of all Big 12 participants in the event this season.
To conclude their spring season, Texas volleyball played North Texas this past Saturday. The Longhorns went 4-0 while North Texas trailed early on in the first set. Texas finished at 23-13, 25-16, and in the last 2 sets, 25-18. Sophomore Micaiah White led the team with 18 kills and 10 digs, and senior Ebony Nabu had 10 kills, 18 swings, along with a team-high hitting percentage of .556.
Let's go to the water. Texas's women's rowing team took home the team title at the Clemson Invitational for the first time in program history this weekend. The Longhorns defeated the event's 3-time defending champion Ohio State Buckeyes and 18 other participating programs in the finals on Sunday. They clocked in at 6 minutes and 15 seconds on the finals course at Lake Hartwell. The program is now ranked near the top of the nation and could win or place on the podium at NCAAs this year.
Texas softball hosted Iowa State this past weekend. We caught up with Jonathan Polas to see how the games went for the Longhorns.
The Texas Longhorns opened a home series against Iowa State on Friday. It was a very low-scoring affair as the Longhorns only got 1 run across in the first inning, but the offense bogged down after that. Iowa State kept the hitters off balance all afternoon, but according to third baseman Selena Felix, it was more about the Texas hitters failing to adjust.
I think it was more us and not necessarily their staff. We didn't, I guess, get the hits where we wanted them.
Despite falling 2-1 to Iowa State on Friday, Texas had plenty of opportunities to take control of the game and win. It's just a matter of making adjustments and getting timely hitting.
Timely hitting and not making the adjustments that we need to. We've got upperclassmen coming off the bench to pinch hit, and that's what they work on every day in practice. It's a tough role to be in, but you're taking those at-bats before you go up there. You're reading the pitcher, you're going in, you know what to expect, and same thing with our other hitters that didn't get pinch hit for. I mean, it's their second, third at-bat through the order, and just the lack of making the adjustments and the lack of execution was really, really troubling.
Despite the 2 errors that Iowa State committed, every other ball put in play by the Longhorns was gobbled up by the Iowa State defense as the Cyclones held on for a 2-1 win. Jonathan Polasic, College Press Box.
We have 2 Texas football players in the house tonight discussing this year's NFL draft from the players' perspective. What storyline should we watch for on Thursday, Friday, Saturday in this incredible 3-day event? College's Press Box's Unhooked segment coming up next.
Roughly 250 college football players will sign contracts and put on new jerseys in the fall. But first, they must be drafted. Welcome back to College Press Box's Unhooked. I'm Katarina Bean-Carty, and tonight I welcome 2 special guests from the Texas offensive line, Buck Major and Patrick Vahe. Guys, how are you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. Patrick?
I'm doing good as well.
All right, guys, now let's get right into it. As we wait with great anticipation for Thursday, I must ask you the first question that's been eating at everybody. What will the Cleveland Browns do with the first overall pick? Buck?
Myles Garrett. I believe that they should go with Myles Garrett because Myles Garrett is a great defensive end, and he also can play linebacker as well. So, yeah.
Patrick?
I believe they should go with a quarterback. You know, they really need somebody to be on the offensive side and have a voice and actually lead them to where they need to be.
Absolutely, and if they don't go for Garoppolo and trade that pick, they'll end up going for either Mitch Trubisky or Deshaun Watson. What do you think? Which one?
Either way will work. You know, Deshaun Watson can come in there and actually take a role, but it just depends on the effort that he wants to give in.
All right, it depends. We'll wait and see. Now, aside from the Browns, which other team picks are you most looking forward to?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Why?
Because that's my favorite team, and I really want them to pick up Cam Robinson from Alabama. Right.
I said Dallas Cowboys because I grew up a Dallas Cowboys fan. And so really I just want to see the Cowboys succeed. So really I want to see what they do with the defensive side.
I mean, they had a really surprise run this year, and definitely we'll see if their picks will move them in the direction they want to go to. Now, you guys are both members of the Texas O-line. What are your top choices in this offensive line class? Buck?
I said a while ago, Cam Robinson. I feel like he's a great offensive tackle, and the things he do is unbelievable. And I want to see him go.
Yep, he definitely proved that he was NFL talent worthy while he was at Bama since the day he got on there. Now, Patrick, what about you?
I say David Sharp from Florida, offensive tackle. Very wide frame, you know, he's 6'6", 340. He knows how to use his feet, and he knows how to read keys on defense. So I feel like I'll take him a long way into the draft.
All right, now moving on to a different part of the offensive side of the ball. The running back class features Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, and your guys' former teammate, Deontay Foreman. Now, you guys played a huge role in Deontay's career here at Texas. Where do you think he's going to end up? Buck?
Honestly, I don't know where he's going, but I want to see him go to Pittsburgh Steelers.
Just because that's your favorite team?
Right. And I feel like him working with Big Ben, I feel like they can get something.
Get something rolling, get that train
something,
rolling, the Pittsburgh Steelers going. All right, Patrick?
I say the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so really I want to see my guy go over there and actually do the work that he done over here. And being with Ezekiel, you know, just having 2 is better than having 1.
Absolutely, and Ezekiel would be a great mentor for Deontay. Now, last question, guys. Who is your dark horse pick?
For me, it is Xavier Coleman from Portland State.
Okay, Patrick?
I say Derek Rivers. He's from Youngstown State. He's a DN. He's very undersized, but like really he can use his effort to get in and take him far as well.
Yep, both mid-major schools. Not really names are on the radar, but we'll see if any of these dark horse picks emerges. Ladies and gentlemen, Buck Major, Patrick Vahe, thanks for coming on tonight. Coming up, Steve Helwick will let you know what's happening around the 40 acres next week. Stay tuned.
Hi, welcome back again to College Press Box. With the NBA and the NHL playoffs and the NFL draft all this week, it's one of the most eventful times in sports of the year. But along with all of this professional action, the Longhorns are participating in a plethora of sporting events all this weekend. Texas baseball enters the diamond again on Tuesday night to face the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns in Sugar Land, Texas. The team then travels north to Stillwater for a 3-game series against the Pokes at Oklahoma State. Softball also faces some midweek action. Connie Clark and the Longhorns battle the North Texas Mean Green on Wednesday before traveling to Lawrence for a road series against the Kansas Jayhawks. For other sports, it's Big 12 championship season. Golf teed off their championships this morning, and the tourney continues through Wednesday. And the first serve for the men's Big 12 tennis championships against Oklahoma, that's scheduled for Thursday. And on Friday, the women's tennis team compete in the Big 12 championships against TCU. In the track and field world, the Longhorn Invitational begins Friday at noon, continuing through Saturday. It's been an eventful offseason for Texas football. So much has changed in the Tom Herman era, but are the Longhorns fans as on board as the players with Herman and all of his new methods? Our reporter Nick Walters found some loyal Texas fans out in Austin to share their opinions on the new regime. Let's check it out.
I'm here at the UT Tower to check the heartbeat of Texas football from those who bleed burnt orange. Tom Herman let his seniors demolish the locker room with a sledgehammer. What other kind of interesting ideas do you have to really put the macho in Texas football again like that does?
Chainsaws.
Chainsaws?
Chainsaws, yeah, bring in a chainsaw. That's it. It's much more efficient than a sledgehammer.
Well, I think he should add something more to the locker room. I think a slide would be pretty sweet to have in the locker room.
Demolish other stuff.
About winning some games. Yeah. Having a winning season.
Recruiting good players. Skillful players.
I mean, as long as he doesn't, throw it at someone, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, a locker is better than a person.
Throw a sledgehammer at the guy's helmet to be like, this is what will happen if you don't get your act together.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So that can be the theme of the team, correct?
Could be the theme of the team. That's it.
Perfect. So each new Texas football locker has a 43-inch TV in it and a $10,000 price tag.
They actually have a TV in them?
A real TV for nameplates. Yes, $10,000.
You're serious?
Dead serious.
They could buy chainsaws for everybody.
With the money, they can just buy all the chainsaws.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Logical, yes. Recent headline, Texas head coach Tom Herman uses color-coded charts to instruct his players how to pee like champions. Your thoughts?
Well, I think it's awesome. Honestly, though, I looked at the chart. I'm on Area 51 right now, so I guess I'm a selfish guy.
I know for a fact that peeing like a champion is one of the keys to winning a championship, and it's great that Tom Herman is, enforcing the right culture that Charlie Strong didn't.
It's a good idea, but I think a good taste of a cup of Dr. Pepper is better.
Dr. Pepper is better than water?
Yes, I think so.
I think that Dr. Pepper should fuel the football team. Do you think so too?
I love Dr. Pepper.
I think that's a good, sort of method for encouraging people to be champions in their urination practices.
Would you encourage that the water cows are filled with Dr. Pepper for the football team?
Qu'est-ce qu'il m'a dit?
Tu penses qu'au lieu de mettre de l'eau dans les trucs, il faudrait
Yes,
mettre
the
du
Dr. Pepper. Yes, I think so.
From the heart of campus, I'm Nick Walters, TSTV.
Well, that was some interesting input from the fans. Well, thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of College Press Box. Make sure to follow us on our social media accounts at TSTV Sports, and also tune in to our sports debate show, College Crossfire, on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Thank you to everybody in studio and master control that made this possible. Until next week's final show of the season, farewell.